News Channel 5's Jambalaya.
It is 5:30 on the dot this Tuesday morning. I'm Noelle Bellow. Thanks for joining us on Jambalaya.
In a courtroom full of family and friends of both sides, Asa Bentley was unanimously found guilty of second-degree kidnapping.
People are seeing lower gas prices across the nation, less than $2 in some states, but with dropping prices comes pros and cons. The slingshot may look like a car, but it's actually a motorcycle, meaning you're going to need a helmet to stay safe. News Channel 5's Brooke Buford is out in the thick of it all with the latest. Brooke, are you cold? On both northbound and southbound lanes. If you can see right behind me over my right shoulder there, sitting in the median is that overturned tanker truck. We begin with breaking news tonight out of Allen Parish. The Allen Parish Sheriff's Office tells us the remains of Victoria Perez, the missing pregnant LeCount woman who disappeared in 2011, have been found. You want to make this? Because this is delicious.
Noelle Bellow joins us from Pineville with the details. Noelle?
That's right, Kathleen. The Rapides Parish Sheriff's Office is conducting this investigation, and they say when Pineville police arrived here earlier this morning, the man was holding a large sword.
It looks sunny, but there's a little bit of clouds. That whole 7-day forecast looks beautiful, so I'm looking forward to that, getting a little vitamin D.
The cuts usually have 13 steps leading up to their home. Right now, they're down to 9.
Officials say the incident was just between the two students. The suspect threw one punch, and the victim hit his head on this surface.
The Mirror Room and, of course, dinner on the bricks tonight from 6 to 8. It's a little hot out here, so I'm fanning myself a little bit with my Riverfett fan.
The Ascension Parish Sheriff's Office is looking for a missing juvenile that might be in the Alexandria area.
Cricket caramel crunch.
Okay.
And I have chocolate covered crickets, and then I have hot and spicy mealworms.
It's called entomophagy.
All right.
So we're going to try that here.
It smells kind of good.
Okay. So kids, please come out and be like Noelle.
First on 5 tonight, family members have identified the twin toddlers who died last night after a fire at their home. I spoke with the girls' grandmother, who can only describe the incident as simply awful.
All I could do was throw up both my hands and say, oh my God, I know something bad had happened.
Jessie Mae Williams was right. Saturday, just before 2:30 in the afternoon, the Alexandria Fire Department responded to a fire at her son's home on Lincoln Road.
It took firefighters about 14 minutes to get it under control. There were 2 fatalities at the fire, both infants, about 26 months old.
Their names were Anaya and Micaiah, twins, who just celebrated their 2nd birthday in October. Neighbors are in shock.
I didn't go to church today because I think about those kids all last night, so I didn't go. So there's just some nice family people that are in this neighborhood. They're very nice.
AFD says most of the damage was to the back of the house. The girl's grandmother says her son Michael was home with the twins when the blaze began.
He said he was laying down on the couch and said he heard a crackling sound. That's what he told me. He said he got up to go see what was the cracking sound was, and he went back to where his twin baby's room was, and said he opened the door and there was nothing in there but smoke. He picked one up, he put it in his arm, picked the other up, and opened the door and crawled through the smoke out the door with one on each one of his arms.
At this point, I'm not sure if they had smoke detectors or if they were working or not.
The twins were taken to separate hospitals, but neither survived, leaving 2 holes in the hearts of family and friends.
It was awful. It was awful.
Autopsies are pending on both of the baby girls. An investigation into what caused the fire is ongoing.
Oh, and it tells you their violations?
Yep.
Man, that's really cool.
When it comes to dining out, how low will you go?
That one has a C. List all the reasons.
What the health? That's the question a couple of guys in Georgia are answering with their new app.
We were out on the town just trying to find a restaurant to eat at, and we were just kind of searching through inspection scores and decided to come up with an app that would be easier for people to access this information.
Louisiana is one of the first states to receive What the Health, which shows users the official Department of Health scores for local businesses.
It's public knowledge, and I think more people ought to be interested in to see where they're eating and see what they're eating and how it's presented from start to cleanup.
I really like it. I think it's useful.
For visitors like Matthew Faircloth,
gives you a letter and a number.
The app is helping him plan his trip.
You can just easily look it up, check it out, and see what's wrong, and then make your decision on where you want to eat. You kind of want to know that you're eating at a nice, clean, healthy place.
And luckily, he was.
That is comforting, because they have really good coffee.
Well, places like Tamp and Grind have an A, but some spots aren't so lucky.
Yeah, we're not trying to throw any restaurants under the bus or anything, but yeah. I mean, you can see some of the violations that they get, like it could be something minor, like just like an establishment, like a building problem or something like that.
You can search by restaurant name, city, or score, and even peep the actual write-up or check out a map to steer you in the right direction.
We try to update it on a weekly basis, usually on the weekends, just to say so users have consistent updated information.
So I know a lot of people are like really picky about where they eat based on scores. So
53 will live on.
It's a tough practice for the Chiefs, as one of their own is missing.
The locker room's different. He was the one that kept the locker room kind of loose and everything, and it's been kind of quiet in a somber locker room.
Coach Brandon Helms says outside linebacker Jonquarius Smith was someone any coach would be lucky to have on their team.
He's a kid that comes from a background of hard work. Football was important to him, this school was important to him, and looking forward to a great senior year.
But sadly, he only made it through the first few weeks.
Officials say the incident was just between the two students. The suspect threw one punch and the victim hit his head on this surface.
Knocked the center of the halls or concrete, and he hit his head on the concrete.
It was not a brawl, it was not a gang fight. It was a battery committed by one individual on another, and it was the only two people involved.
Smith spent the night in ICU and died Tuesday as a result of his injuries.
Was a good kid. He wasn't a problem. Very unfortunate situation. We really feel for him and his family.
A loss that is tough for those who knew him to comprehend.
You can ask why all you want, you're not going to get the answer. Jonquarius he enjoyed life.
Though he will no longer play on this field, Coach Helms says he knows that Jonquarius will be watching over his Chiefs. In Natchitoches, Noelle Bellow, News Channel 5, your local station.